Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Dustin. Thank you so much for watching again. Today we're going to be talking about something that I've been anticipating for quite a while. It took a little while longer than I expected to receive it, but I actually received it on Friday of this week, and I'm pretty excited. I know you guys are. I know a lot of you have been curious about this, and they wanted to see what exactly I can do with this thing. And today we're going to be talking about the DJI RONIN-S. First off, let me tell you, this thing is amazing. I've been using it for the past 2 to 3 days. I pretty much put it together as soon as I got it out the box, but we'll go ahead and do the quick unboxing of this just to show you guys how it looks like in the box and show you guys the cool little things that is inside of it. Let's go ahead and open this thing up. First off, I would like to say that this case is actually pretty amazing. It's got this really nice foam feel to it. It feels very durable. Feels like I can tote this thing around, throw it in the back of the car, and everything inside of it is going to be perfectly fine. The handle feels really sturdy. The foam is pretty amazing. I like how they're doing this where it's cost effective, but at the same time it's very durable. This material seems to be pretty legit, even enough so they can actually put an actual locking mechanism in here. So let's go ahead and unlock this bad boy by twisting it and open this thing up. It's pretty much, I've already opened everything in here. I've already pulled everything out of it and put it together, but I put it back in here just so you guys can see the overall layout of this. First of all, I just want to say this little case right here is pretty amazing. In my opinion, I'll be using this thing for every location or every shoot that I have just to bring it with me because it's so small to carry around. It's not really that big of luggage, and I feel pretty confident that I can bring this around with me anywhere I need to go. It's got this little pouch in it for all your external cables, your extra USB cables, your charging cable. You can also put your SD cards in here, which is pretty nice. And then it has your little fittings in here if you need to change some things in there so that you can actually adjust your camera to fit the gimbal. For me, when I first got this, actually, I did have to use this little riser plate to lift up my Canon M50 because the lens on there actually wouldn't be able to sit on the plate itself. So I had to make sure I rose it up a little bit, which was pretty nice. DJI actually provided this automatically with this, so it's nice. You don't have to go in and buy a bunch of extra stuff so that you can get your camera to work. Everything is in this container, and it's pretty awesome. I like how they did this, and I feel like DJI really put every single effort forward to be able to have everything that you need in one single container. The next thing you'll notice after I open this up is you'll have your DJI huge charging block. The actual charging time for the DJI RONIN-S is actually about 2 hours. And you actually get about 14 hours of use out of that, which is pretty amazing in my opinion. You get a lot more return out of the charge from these things. Got your cable. And I did want to mention that most people don't probably notice whenever you see the reviews on this. The actual handle is the battery, but if you look in the case, you can actually put 2 batteries in this case by using this side over here, or if you go to the side where the pouch is placed, you can put the battery in there as well. So this case can actually hold 2 batteries, which is nice because I plan on buying spare batteries because these are pretty necessary. They're actually very durable. If you hold this thing, it's very comfortable. The soft grip on there, it's really nice. It feels really comfortable in your hands, and you don't feel like you're holding something cheap. It doesn't feel plastic, even though it is plastic. You feel like you're holding a very solid aluminum body, but it's actually a composite material. I just want to reiterate with that it's really sturdy. There's no hollowness to it. It feels really strong, and I feel safe carrying this thing around. The next thing you'll notice is the tripod bottom to it. You have this right here. It collapses and opens so that you can put it at the bottom of your battery handle, like so. And it's very easy. You just twist it right on, and you have it good to go. So you can set your tripod flat down on the surface and have it stand up so you can balance your gimbal. It's pretty cool. Alright, now last but not least, of course, you have your gimbal top head. This is a 3-axis part. I actually left all of these loose so that I can mount my camera to them. So we take our tripod handle, and you just pretty much slide it onto the top part of this. Once you do that, you have your little lever here. You just click it and lock it. Nice and sturdy. Now it is loose. I want to tell you that's loose because I made it loose, and that's it. All you have to do is connect those 2 pieces together, put your tripod on there, and you're ready to go. I do want to let you guys know, if you do receive this, the first time that I picked this up, I didn't realize this, but the actual portion of the gimbal, the actual roll of the gimbal was flipped over, so I thought that my gimbal was shipped broken because this part right here will not click back and forth, but when you get it, make sure you flip it, you push it out all the way, and then you just flip it back the other way, and you have full motion again, like so. So just a heads up, it took me about 30 minutes to an hour to figure that out. If you guys are watching this video and you just got yours or you're waiting to get yours, keep that in mind that you just have to do that. That's all it is. So don't panic. It's not broken. It's not shipped wrong. Just flip that little part over and you're good to go. All right, now since we got this thing all put together in less than 2 minutes, let's go ahead and test out a camera on it and show you guys how it looks. So what we have here is the Canon EOS M50 with a 10 to 18mm lens and a EFS adapter for the Canon EF-M mount. We're gonna be putting a spacer plate on the bottom of this, and then we'll attach it to the actual gimbal plate, which goes to the Ronin-S locking mechanism. Let's go ahead and do that first, and I'll show you guys how it looks after we put that on there. So I'm just gonna go to my handy dandy pouch. First thing you want to do is get the screws mounted in here, place it on the bottom. Once you do that, you get your plate right here, and you have 2 mounting points for this, just for more security. I think it's kind of nice that you have that. Some people will probably just put 1, but I feel like it's safer if we put 2. All right, now that we have it on, get our gimbal flat surface. Make sure you have it on a flat surface. Slide your camera in the slot. Keep in mind it has this lock on here, so the only way to pull it off is to actually click this button, and then your camera will slide forward. So I'm just gonna lock it in place right now so we can adjust the roll, and then we'll be adjusting the tilt. In case you guys this is your first gimbal, so you understand, the roll is the way in which the camera goes this way. The tilt is the way in which the camera goes up and down. So that's just so you guys know how to adjust what. In the directions it uses those terminologies, so I figured I'd try to explain those as best as I can because I had to learn them myself. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna adjust the roll, and all we have to do to adjust the roll is loosen this back part right here, and you just slide it to where you feel like the camera will start to go center. As you can see, it's a little bit to the right, a little bit over here, or I guess to your left. Just push it over until it slowly levels out. And you can go back and forth with this, and you don't have to be 100%, but you see how it's pretty much level at this point? We'll go ahead and lock it in, like so. And now we're gonna be adjusting our tilt. To adjust the tilt, you just loosen this lever right here, and then we're just gonna slide this plate a little bit back to go backwards. And once we have it pretty balanced, we'll go ahead and lock that in. It's currently not turned on at this point, and you can obviously see that it's pretty balanced, and that's what you wanna have in a 3-axis gimbal. It's very simple, and I did want to show you guys something that I think is very important with this gimbal that I enjoy the most. The fact that you can see the back of the screen while having the roll behind it is pretty awesome. I think DJI really knocked it out of the ballpark by doing this. It's got a really, really nice setup. As you can see, you're looking directly at me and the camera, and you can see the back of the screen, so that's very important, especially for those Sony users and other users that don't have the flip out screen like I do. It's pretty important to have that. Without further ado, let's go ahead and turn this thing on, and I'll show you guys exactly how it balances. All you have to do is turn it on right here on the battery portion. Just click that on once. Once it turns on, all the lights are lit up. You hit the power on the right here until all 3 lights turn on. Boom. It'll beep. And there you go. It automatically balanced. Okay, I have already balanced this, but I do want to show you guys something that's fairly important. It's got 3 settings on here. So the way I set it up and the way that most likely will come stock from the factory is 1 is going to be your fastest setting, 2 is your medium setting, and then 3 is your slow setting. That could be reversed. You could have 1 as the slow, 2 is the medium, and 3 is the fast. But that's basically the way that it comes in. By default, if you're curious, after you get the app on your phone, make sure to connect it after you turn it on. And you have just that little connection at the bottom right there. You'll tap the device that shows up right there. It automatically pops up on your phone as soon as you turn it on and your app is running. Some devices you have to connect it to Wi-Fi to be able to communicate with it, but this thing directly connects to it and knows exactly when it shows up. So we'll just connect directly to it. Once it's connected, we'll go back to our app, and I'll show you some of the configurations that I run. So if you go to the configuration right here, and then you tap configuration, you'll see at the top here it's got 3 users. When you tap the user, you have user 1, 2, and 3. Those 3 users are going to be the numbers on your DJI Ronin-S. So keep that in mind. If you want to adjust each of those settings, you have to adjust per the user. I myself, I don't turn the tilt on because I don't want the camera tilting as soon as I lean it forward or backwards. I want to keep it on the horizon the entire time, and I think that's pretty important if you want a really cool cinematic look. Once you have it on, you have your app connected to your DJI Ronin-S, make sure, and this is really important, that you do the auto tune. The auto tune is pretty cool because you don't have to do all the funky balancing like you had to do with this and manually do all the settings so that you can get it to where it runs the best. The auto tune pretty much does all that work for you, and I think that's why this is pretty amazing amazing. They've just done so many things in this thing where you feel like everything is hands-free. It does everything pretty much by itself, and you're able to just run the app, turn on the gimbal, and go out and shoot video. Alright, so once we have everything set up, we'll go ahead and go into our settings on the Ronin app. So go to your configuration, then you go to your motor parameters. Once you're in the motor parameters, go and hit that auto tune as soon as you can. And this is what it does. Keep an eye on the gimbal here. Alright, so we are done with the auto-tune. Now, just to explain, I'm not 100% on this, but I think what the auto-tune does, it runs a few tests and it tells what type of device is on it, how heavy it is, and what exactly the motor settings need to be adjusted to in order to compensate weight and height of a device, and how exactly it stabilizes each particular device that is attached to it. I think that's pretty amazing because a lot of times I'll be throwing a camera on here and then I'll actually change out the lens to a heavier lens, a lighter lens, sometimes even a bigger body. I know a lot of people have those, and it actually compensates for those few things. So you can use this on shoot with many different cameras and lenses and be able to swap things out and get everything fine-tuned in such a short period of time. You saw exactly how long it took to do that, and I think it's pretty amazing that you can do all that stuff. I did want to show you how it works with functionality as far as me holding it here and now. Like I told you before, this tripod, it is a nice tripod, but as you fold it up, it turns into an extra handle. So you can actually hold this thing with two hands. For people that want to use the tilt function on their camera, that's fine. It's gonna be kind of nice to be able to hold that and go downwards. But if you're gonna be using this thing for run and gun shooting, a lot of times you'll be holding it like so behind your subject, either high or a little lower, so you can actually hold it as you're shooting. So right now I have it on the fast setting, so if you watch, this is pretty much the speed setting. That's exactly how fast it turns. I'm turning it as fast as I can right now. And then if we go to 2, which is user 2, we'll turn it a little slower, okay? And now we'll go to 3, and that's even more slow. So this smooths things out. Got a really nice, slow, smooth pan left and right. Now keep in mind, like I said, I turned the tilt off and I turned the actual roll off, so there's no roll or tilt in this. This way it looks kind of like the cinema cameras do. Got a really cool look to it. And if you also want, if you want to do some really low shots, you can do that. All you have to do is grab the top of it and hold it low, like so. When I did some shots today, it actually, you pretty much hold it like that. I would not recommend holding it with just one hand. Keep two hands on it at all times. If you can, hook a strap to it just to be safe. The main reason for that is because you don't want to destroy a $600 camera or more, and you don't want to destroy your gimbal by tripping or falling and crushing it. That would be pretty sad. I do like the joystick function on it. However, I feel like I don't really want to use the joystick as much. You can use this thing pretty much as you want. You can actually use your app to control the joystick as well. But I feel as if the purpose of this more, as you get used to it, is you're gonna get more comfortable with using the gimbal itself and the pan ability by just using the device. You can adjust the settings on the joystick to use for what settings you like. And I think it's really useful if you want to do some really smooth pans left and right. But for running gun shooting, I think the actual gimbal itself is going to be doing all of the work. Alright guys, well that's pretty much my review for today. I'm in love with this thing. This is probably one of the things I've been waiting for forever. I think this is probably where you guys who want to start shooting video and start shooting some music videos, car videos, anything that you want to do where your handheld camera just isn't cutting it for you, this thing will smooth those things out so much and just make your videos look that much more professional. You will have to learn how to use it. I will advise you on that. You're not going to be a professional as soon as you get it. This thing, it's heavy. It's really heavy, so get used to that. The good thing about my rig setup is that the Canon EOS M50 is like a pound and the lens is probably half of that. But the actual gimbal itself is pretty heavy. So when you get this thing, just expect to get a good workout in and get a good sweat in whenever you're using it. It's really smooth. You can use this at so many events. I plan on using it for the Comic Cons, for all my other vlogs, probably my skate videos and other videos I'm going to be doing for any type of projects I have. This thing is going to be amazing. I would highly recommend this for anybody that wants to get into cinematography, wedding videos, or anything like that. This thing will make those videos look a lot better. Yeah guys, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys, if you like this video, go ahead and smash that like button. If you're curious about anything else, feel free to ask in the comments below. And yeah, be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Here's the test footage now. Thank you again guys. Peace.